You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
Yo, what's going on, my people? It's your boy, Cranston Cumberbatch.
And I'm Kawana Norman.
And this is the way we see it. Apologize for those of you who have been sitting out there waiting with bated breath on this lovely Cinco de Mayo day. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Can we get some hand claps for the Cinco de Mayo? Yes. Happy Cinco. You know, I plan on having a taco and a beverage of leisure that helps to celebrate this, you know, beautiful day of a chance where we get to celebrate.
Yes.
Another heritage. But anyway, we're going to hop right in since we already, you know, jumping in. Kwana.
Yes.
Snowfall's done. Power is done. What else was we watching?
The Winning Time.
The Winning Time is not done. However, our main two, Bel Air is done.
Yes.
So with those shows, and they're not done, but the seasons, you know, they had their season finale. So seasons are over.
And I have something to say about Bel Air.
Okay, let's go.
I just read where they are like the #1 rated show on Peacock. Like,
yeah, they're Peacock's top rated show. Yeah, yes. Cheers for that. Yes. Mm-hmm. Reasons why. If y'all was listening to us, we told y'all to go watch that show, and guess what? It's #1
Look what we
on
did.
Peacock. Look what we did. Look, we helped them get to #1. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Maybe not, but still, you know, but it really is a good show. They did a really good job with that, so I am, you know, kudos to them and that team, producers and executive producers and all those who are behind that. Mm-hmm. They really got a good thing going. Can't wait to see what season 2 looks like.
I know.
What storylines they come out with from the original show. And one of the cool things that I do like about Bel Air is that what they've done is they've taken like little snippets of, you know, things that happened in the original show, mm-hmm. and they've been able to embellish them and actually stretch this story out.
Exactly.
You know, and go in a totally different, dramatic way, you know, with the same characters. And I'm like, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you call creative writing.
Exactly.
And that's why they get paid the big bucks. And I cannot wait to get into that tax bracket where I'm getting paid the big bucks to creatively write like that. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. It's we said at the same time. That's how you know it's going to happen, because we said it in stereo on the radio. That's what I'm talking about. This is the way we see it.
All right.
That's right. Y'all going to see it too. Just don't believe me. Just watch.
Okay.
All right. It's Cinco de Mayo, y'all. We having a good time on the way we see it already. All right. So, Bel Air, Winning Time. We'll go ahead and start with Winning Time. If you haven't seen Winning Time, just to give you not even a recap, but just to introduce you to the show, if you haven't heard of it before, it is Winning Time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty.
Yes.
And it really goes in depth to the rise of the Lakers becoming a dynamic team. The Celtics had been like wrecking shop for like years, to where you were not beating the Celtics. And, you know, the Lakers at one point in time was like really that team that sucked.
And did you notice how, I don't know, I'm just seeing this now, but Magic and Bird, like, were really on the same level, but
yeah,
other people didn't see that. Most people didn't see that.
Yeah.
Bird was always up here.
Yeah.
And Magic was always like, right.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
and it was just interesting how they played that out, you know, and it's fun to watch, to say the least. It's very fun to watch. The show is not a documentary at all. There is nothing documentary about this show. This show is on HBO Max, and when I tell you they leave nothing to the imagination, they leave absolutely nothing to the imagination. If it happened, they show it. And so another thing I love about the show is that they've kept some sense of reality, in it. Now, as far as the dramatizations, of course, they weren't all the way there to get every single word that was said and every single move that was made, but they have enough to where they've been able to capture the essence of, really what happened in that time frame. The characters themselves, how they carried themselves in that time frame. They got enough information to kind of dramatize that in a way to where you get it.
And I'm really confused as to why Kareem said he doesn't want to ever watch the show, because it doesn't paint him in a bad light.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't paint him in a bad light at all.
So it's like, why is he so against it?
Yeah, I think he's on the side with Magic, because Magic Johnson has also come out and said that he didn't really want to watch the show either, because it's nothing like living those times. It's one thing for someone to reenact it. It's another thing to actually have lived it and to know everything that happened and to be on the inside of all of that. And so, and I mean, I get it. There's a lot of things on the Magic side, that speaks of his youth, when he was a young rookie, coming out of high school. And I mean, to be honest, it's a lot of things that a lot of us can relate to, I mean, and stuff that he was doing.
Not only us, but present day athletes.
Right. So it's still going on.
Yeah,
right.
So
There's nothing different that, and then too, this is from like way back in the day. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it was anything that we didn't know what was happening.
Right.
I mean, he was one of those athletes to where people paid attention. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like you couldn't put two and two together, because I mean, if we put two and two together, you got AIDS. So it was a whole lot of us putting two and two together, making 2, 4, 6, and 8, and trying to figure out which of those 4 was it.
Exactly. And I said that to my brother yesterday. I said, I mean, now we kind of know what happened, how it happened.
How?
You know what I'm saying? Even though we speculated.
Yeah.
But,
And then too, also being in the star athletes that, I mean, can make you buku bucks. You want to make them as happy as possible. So what are the things you're going to give them? Money, cars, access to women. I mean,
exactly.
We got college. We got somebody in college in the studio with us right now. Tell me I'm lying. I'm not lying. Thank you so much. Praise the Lord. Jesus is in the house. And so, happy Cinco de Mayo. So, the truth of the matter is
he just said that on the car ride here. He was like, Mom, you can have a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can.
Those were his words.
Yes. And I mean, and they when free fun on top of that. Mm-hmm. It's nothing you have to pay for. And it's just being given to you, thrown at you. Like, oh, I can have this? Hey, man, that is yours. Knock yourself out. Exactly. You walk into a room full of women and they're like, hey, they're all for you. Mm-hmm. What? Mm-hmm. On what planet? The neighborhood I come from, that don't happen. So when you get into those upper echelons, and that's how a lot of them get introduced to drugs, alcohol, all these things that then become vices.
You just said something.
That they end up being turned into, because it's like, what's your pleasure?
Exactly. And thank God that wasn't Magic's vice.
Right.
Because they were readily available for him.
Yeah, it was all right there. The places he was going, it was all right there, laid out. He could have taken several lines. Right. He could have been a Hayward, which is in this last episode that we just watched not too long ago, which we'll talk about. That's what happened. Dude got caught up on drugs, and then the other part to it is when you're at that high level of a performer. Me being a professional actor right now, it's true. You're only as good as your last performance, So the pressure is on every time you step onto the floor. The pressure is on for you to perform. Especially
with Hayward aging.
Yes. Aging. Yes. And the threat of being traded to another team, the threat of being, kept on the bench and not getting any playing time. That's the easiest way for you to get put out the pasture, and you're out of here. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, the whole idea is to make money so that you can continue to play, because now you're used to a certain lifestyle, and if you starting to drop tax brackets, that means
For her to be proud of him.
Yeah.
So that's added pressure.
and when you get hooked on those drugs, and you start taking these before a game, and you took it before this one game, and a lot of athletes are very superstitious.
Yeah.
Very superstitious. I mean, all the way down to wearing the same underwear every game, or the same socks or the same shoe or doing a certain routine.
I was going to say that. Have
a
the
certain
same
way.
routine for game day.
And so it's like if I took a hit before the game and I came in and I got 15 rebounds, I scored 20 points, got 5 steals.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm doing next game?
Exactly.
Because I'm trying to.
Because now I got to top that.
Right. And two, I believe that is my good luck charm. That's the thing that, and I always feel. So it's like it's a constant thing. And I'm not going to lie. Even me as a performer, I have my things that I do, as my ritual to get me ready that I consistently do. I mean, thank God I never got into drugs or anything like that. But I mean, sometimes I'll either, I like do some push-ups, prior to going on stage or something to that effect, or if I'm hosting a show or whatever. But we all have our things that we do,
Exactly.
even all the way down to the music I listen to on the way to wherever I'm going. I have something to put me in the zone to where I'm prepared, So when you get into those vices and things of that nature, now it takes things to a whole nother level,
Yes.
And so, so in wintertime, we are really seeing the dynamics that happened within the team, and I like how they're showing the team's struggles. Because like Jerry Buss, who's the owner of the Lakers, they show his fight in trying to even, one, get the team,
Right.
2, keep the team, and then 3, he brought his family in to also help work and manage the team, and just the troubles that's going on within his own house.
Right.
His mom is his accountant, and she is old.
She's old and she has lung cancer.
Right. And she's dying.
Yes.
And, here it is, his team's on the rise. Things are starting to go good. And his mom has been like his rock, the one who's had his back through everything this man has
Because
gone through.
it's just been them.
Right.
Her and him. She raised him as a single mom, and he doesn't know who else he can trust, lean
Right.
on, any of that.
Yeah.
It's her.
Yeah.
So losing her is going to be
Yeah. And in this last
so hard for
episode,
him.
spoiler alert, in this
Sorry.
last episode that came, his mom dies. And so that, hurt him to the core.
Yes.
So much so to where here it is, his team's like in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And this is like a serious game, that he generally would be there for. And instead, he's in the hospital with his mom while she's hanging on for life. And he's there for the moment she takes her last breath. And, this next episode, we're going to see how that affected them. Of course, we know the future, but at the same time, we don't know the inside of how that future came to be.
Right.
And so being able to get that behind the scenes look is what really makes this show really cool.
I don't know if you know it, but they have a show. Remember how Power had Power Confidential?
Yeah.
Well, Winning Time has that.
Okay.
And Rick Fox hosted.
Nice.
So after every show, it's Rick Fox as the host, and he speaks to a couple of the characters, the actors.
Okay.
Like last week, it was Sally Fields, and the young lady that plays Jeannie Buss,
Nice.
and one of the writers.
Okay.
Yes. So they do that after every show.
Nice.
So you get an inside. He asks questions, and you get an inside look on how they play their characters and stuff like that. And Sally Fields actually was like not ready to go. She
Right.
was like, I wanted her to go on,
Yeah.
but the writer was like, there was nothing else that we could do with her.
And it was good to see Sally Fields still acting. man, that woman, she's got to be.
Yeah.
knocking
And I've
on
always liked
80,
her. Yeah.
85, 90.
I've always liked her movies though.
Yeah, she's been a great actress. I mean, since I was little.
Yep.
You know, I grew up watching her, and she's always been a phenomenal actress. And to see she's still doing it.
Yeah, she is. So
know.
that's a little tidbit. I don't know the name of it, but it comes on right after the show.
Okay. All right.
And Rick Fox hosted.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are who do have HBO Max, you can watch Winning Time and watch the after show to get some more, in-depth conversation, like what we're having right now about the show. And for those who are participating in the show, as a talent, that's really cool. Cool. So I'm gonna have to start checking that out.
Yes, it's really good because they've already had the young man who plays Magic.
Okay. Quincy Isaiah.
Yes.
Big props to
Thank
Quincy
you.
Isaiah.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job as Magic Man. We believe you. We
And-
believe that you are him. If
Yeah.
Magic saw you, that's probably why he don't want to watch, because they're like, dang.
I mean, he
they even got
has the
somebody that
smile,
look like me.
The winning
Yeah.
smile. He even has that.
Yeah.
Come
so,
on, Magic.
Yeah. Come on, Magic.
Give him a chance. But,
So, yeah.
it's a good show.
It is. Real good show. Another dynamic that is really interesting to see is the whole coaching situation.
Man.
Because that right
And
there.
remember, I don't know if you remember, they were saying like no one really knew about what's the coach name that was injured,
I can't remember right now, but
no one really knew about him.
yeah. I mean, nobody.
You know what I'm saying? So this right here
Yeah.
gave him a face, gave him a name.
Yeah.
We know who he is.
And to be honest, the only coach I've really ever known outside of Phil Jackson was Pat
Pat
Riley.
Riley, exactly.
You know?
So,
So-
this man actually, he shouldn't be upset because now we know that he was behind
Yeah,
a lot of their success.
right. I mean, he got them rolling.
Yes.
He set the formula, and they continued the formula. And then later on, Phil Jackson comes with his formula and the triangle defense and offense, whatever that triangle was. It was offense and defense, obviously, because that's the only way you're gonna win a ball game. You got to have both sides rolling. But Winning Time, y'all. If you, we can't tell you enough. Good show to watch. We guarantee that once you start watching it, you're gonna feel the same way that we do. It's very entertaining. The way they have styled it, it's looks like it's back in the 60s, early
is.
70s. I mean, it has the look of that time period. I mean, it's just like you're a fly on the wall. So they even talk to you. They even talk to you. So that's just how good the show is.
I like when Magic looks in the camera and be like,
And gives you or gives you that smile.
That smile,
Cheese,
yeah.
Ding. So yeah, but all right. So enough about Winning Time for right now. I want to talk about Flight Attendant. The Flight Attendant. Yes. So The Flight Attendant is another show on
HBO
yeah,
Max.
it's on HBO Max. HBO Max is on fire right now, y'all, with
They
the
are.
shows. But The Flight Attendant, it has it's Cinco de Mayo, y'all, and I cannot think of no actors' names right now. No directors.
Kaylee Cuoco.
Katie Kuko.
Yeah.
Quaco.
We're gonna go with that.
Yeah, we black, we can mess it up. Katie Kuko from The Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
I promise you're gonna get your name right. Don't hang us. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Okay, yeah, please don't. We are way past that era.
Yes.
I said don't hang us. It's Cinco de Mayo, y'all. I'm gonna take a sip.
We're having a good time.
This is lemonade in the cup, by the way. So,
But the flight attendant.
yes, The Flight Attendant.
Okay. Actually, it's a good show. It is.
Yeah, I like it. I'm enjoying it.
I don't know her character.
Yeah.
She makes me mad because she makes so many mistakes. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yes, she is definitely a young flight attendant that is definitely aware of herself and aware of all of the things that life has to offer, and that she is in a position to really enjoy all of that. And, Yeah, she's a flight attendant. She gets to travel the world, and she's not just any flight attendant. She is a flight attendant on a luxury plane.
Right.
So that means she's around high-profile individuals all the time, going to high-profile destinations.
And I'm not mad at her for that.
Yeah, and so she's taking full advantage.
Right.
I mean, she is enjoying everything from the sights to the money to the people.
Yes.
She is having a blast. She's drinking up a storm and she's sleeping up a storm with people.
You should never, ever get so intoxicated that you can't remember what happened the night before.
Yeah. And that's how we are introduced to this storyline.
Yes.
Like right off the bat, they spare you no waiting. They go right on in and hit you with the dun dun dun,
Yeah.
and leaves you for the rest of this series to see how this thing unravels and unfolds. And and like you said, she goes to bed, and she goes to bed with a guy who, rich guy, showed her the time of her life.
Yes.
They had the time of their lives, and they go to sleep. She wakes up, and homeboy is dead.
Yes.
Capital DEAD.
She
Ain't no coming back from this one.
She wakes up covered in blood.
Yes. She
Hello.
wakes up covered in blood and has no clue or idea how it happened. And she knows I didn't do it, but I don't know how this got done.
Exactly.
And the way that they were going at it, I mean, we don't know how it got done.
No.
It's like, how in the world y'all had time for one
Had
of y'all?
the time of your life.
Yes.
But now someone's dead. One of you, huh?
I mean, how'd you have enough time to kill him?
Yeah,
If you killed him.
Fill in
I mean,
those blanks for us.
yes, please. And so we're waiting for those blanks to be filled because we're just getting turned on to this series. This series has 2 seasons right now. Season 2 just started not too long ago.
Right.
And so we're playing catch up right now. So I know I'm currently on episode 3 myself.
Okay, so you're an episode ahead of me,
Okay.
but I'm gonna get there.
All right. So by next week, we hopefully will be through season 1 of The Flight Attendant. But for right now, we definitely can tell you that it is a good show. It's got a lot of interesting characters. It was cool to see Rosie Perez.
Yes.
We was talking about Sally Fields. She's not as old as Sally Fields, but Rosie Perez from White Men Can't Jump. That's the movie I remember her from the most.
No. Spike Lee.
Oh, Do the Right Thing.
Yes.
Do the Right Thing with Spike Lee. So many other shows. I mean, I want to pull up her stuff, but I don't want to get off of our YouTube chat line right now. And I just got somebody to say that, yes, Rosie Perez is a classic. Yes, she is a classic.
She is.
She definitely has been around for a while. She's done her thing. And a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think Rosie Perez used to. I'm thinking Paula Abdul. Never mind. Lakers.
With the choreography. And stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought Rosie Perez.
I think she did too.
She did too.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So I'll circle around back to that.
Yeah.
But
Let's give her props.
yeah, we'll give her props. Can we give some props to Rosie Perez right now? Still doing her thing. Yes. Go ahead, Rosie. And Rosie is of the Hispanic Latino culture. Right. Happy Cinco de Mayo, Rosie.
Yes.
And family and friends. Good stuff. It's Cinco de Mayo, y'all. We are having a good time here on The Way We See It. But anyway, so going back to Rosie being in the show, she is a flight attendant as well. She's a senior flight attendant, and and she is friends with Katie's character, and she is kind of the one that is living vicariously through Katie's life and her escapades when they travel. And it's interesting to see how she plays opposite of her, and how she's always trying to figure out what's her next move going to be, and at the same time trying to give her advice to slow down.
Yeah.
You know,
she tries to have her back, but
Yeah.
sometimes in doing so, she messes up.
Yes.
Puts Kaylee out there.
yes.
And it's like, please stop helping me.
Right. So yeah. So in the first episode, you know, the flight attendant who we're talking about, Katie's character, she, you know, when she finds out that the guy's dead in the bed with her, she freaks out, you know, and she just basically cleans up and leaves, gets back on the plane, and tries to forget that it ever happened.
So many mistakes was made.
Yes, so many mistakes.
In that one.
But I mean,
night.
she got up, showered, and got back to work. Okay, and so, that was interesting to see just how she did that, and to see this unfold on how this is now starting to catch up to her.
Yes.
You know, and I'm interested to see how she's gonna get out of this one, because
I can't wait to see.
Yeah,
Because she's not even listening to her lawyer.
right. She tells her, so she gets back home to where she's from, and she, you know, by this time, they have discovered that the guy's dead, and rightfully so, because housekeeping discovers that he's dead because she just left the man in the bed. You know, she got all her stuff and was out. Left the man dead in the bed. So housekeeping, of course, calls the police, you know, to say that he's dead. In their investigating, they're retracing all of this man's steps, and they're like, well, he just came in off of a plane from wherever they came from. And so now it's like, okay, well, let's question everyone that was on the flight, you know, to see if they can give us any insight as to what may have led to this man being murdered.
And I'm wondering, girl, you know what day and age we're in? Cameras.
Right. All that good stuff.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere. You can hardly go anywhere without being on somebody's camera. We on camera right now. I mean, you can't get away from it.
And they said they're gonna have to sift through all of the camera footage.
Right.
It's just gonna take time.
So eventually they're gonna find out that it's you, you know, and all that good stuff. But you know, anyway, yeah. I'm gonna pause for a shout out break. Huge shout out to the Urban Drinkery, which is a fine establishment right on the corner of 22nd Street and 9th Avenue South here in St. Petersburg. It is a lovely establishment. Some of the finest handcrafted, and I have to say that again, handcrafted drinks and cocktails, herbal remedies, you name it. It's here at the Urban Drinkery. We are so glad to have them in our community, and it's a great spot to come and chill and relax. If you haven't been to the Urban Drinkery, you definitely are missing out on one of St. Pete's gems and treasures that is blossoming like nobody's business. And so I just wanted to give that shout out real quick, and we're going to get back to our program.
Okay.
So with the flight attendant, with all that's happening, and we're talking about Katie's character and her telling the lawyer, you know, everything that happened. So she comes out clean to the lawyer, and the lawyer is like, okay.
Willing to help her.
Right. And she continues to try to get ahead of this herself,
Yes.
with little to no experience in dealing with these things. And so she's trying to find information about who else was with them, because apparently there was a third person that they met that night that they were out, you know, getting blackout drunk.
Her memory is coming back slowly.
Right.
Like every, so often she gets a quick,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
so she's trying to, find
Figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things that I like about the show is also the way that the show is being shot. The cinematography is really good, and the editing, really good editing in this show. I like how they have her actually speaking to the dead character, and him, like, you killed. I'm dead. What am I supposed to do?
He's actually helping her.
Right.
He's like
Giving her clues
Yes.
on as to how to solve his murder. And so it's interesting to see that dynamic play out in the show as well. So, kudos to the editing and just the way the story is being told and presented to us as an audience. I always admire, intuitive editing, and storytelling when it comes to that stuff, because it keeps you engaged. It keeps you wanting to see more and watch the show that much more. And so as you guys get into it, from our recommendation to tell you to go watch The Flight Attendant, you'll see everything that we're talking about and why this show is a really good show to watch. Like I said, HBO Max is killing them right now. They're definitely, trying to raise the bar in this competitive streaming race, because now everybody's streaming.
Because now they also have another show that just started.
Oh, yeah.
We Own This City.
We Own the City. Yes. Now, I'm going to let you talk about that one because I haven't gotten a chance to check that one out just yet. But it is on the list.
Yes, and I believe it began maybe a week ago.
Okay.
So I think it's just one episode, maybe two. But I did check out the first episode. Yes, it's a must-see. Check it out. I'm not sure of the date and time that it appears, but I enjoyed it. And if you're familiar with The Wire, that used to be on BET, I believe. Well, no, it wasn't on BET. BET brought it back.
Yeah. I think it was either HBO.
It was HBO.
Yeah, it was HBO, Cinemax. It was one of those channels.
One of those. It's by some of the writers that wrote for The Wire, so it gives you that type of feel.
Okay.
So.
Oh, and The Wire was a great show. Oh man.
And it's based on we on the city. It's based on, I guess, corruption in the Baltimore Police Department.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean we've seen many stories on that, corruption within the Protect and Serve.
So, and then some of the characters from The Wire are in this show, but
different characters, different types of
characters. So,
all right, that's nice.
You'll be like, oh, I never saw him like that.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
It's nice to see versatility in an actor. To see them, play one character in this show, but then there's somebody totally different, in another show, and you believe them. That really shows true ability, true talent and skill, and great directing. Because a director has to really bring it out of you and make sure that you are portraying the character accurately, so that we as an audience are able to fully be engaged in the story and not get distracted by, man, you was the same way you was in the other show.
Yeah, because I was reading up, and a lot of people are like, I can't see this particular person as anyone but who he was in The Wire.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so they're playing totally different characters in this than they did in The Wire.
And and that's funny too, because it's another thing that you run into when you see popular actors playing in multiple shows as different characters. You find a character, there's that character you fall in love with, or you get to really know them as being, and to see them be somebody else, it's just really, really difficult. Yeah. I'll give you a prime example for me right now. Right now, for me, it's difficult for me to watch Omari Hardwick and not think of Ghost. No matter what else I see him in, exactly. I always see him as Ghost. And it takes me a moment to really get into whatever he's doing, because I see because he looks the character, and he still has some of those mannerisms because it's in him, but it still takes a minute to say, all right, he's not Ghost, he's Jonathan, whatever the name is, but he's one of those people that it's hard to.
I'm always gonna see him as Ghost. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes. And that's one of those things when you are in a series like that, and people see you as one thing for a long time. And for a lot of actors, it's hard to get work after doing something like that.
And I think that's something that he was. Okay.
I don't know which button to hit. Yeah, you go. That's right. Yes. Shouts out to young BBQ. She made the cover of Creative Loafer magazine. She's from right here. She has taken over Instagram by storm. She has definitely grown her fan base from some hundreds of thousands to where she's now over 1.7 million followers.
Wow.
You know, and I mean, and all she does is her thing, and she dances and she does parodies, you know, of people and their dances. And I mean, she goes wig and all. She has no fear in being the character. And, you know, it's fun to watch and people love it. And even celebrities have shared her stuff. And, you know, shouts out to her her management team, her brother who is her manager. Shouts out to them and just the way that they have just really surrounded her and just really helped boost her and lift her up, you know, to get to where she's at right now. I mean, she's done stuff for Nike. She's done stuff for right here in St. Pete. Yeah, so we can go ahead and give another hand clap to that. Yes. So what's happening right now in the world is that with the pandemic, it has allowed people to discover St. Petersburg. Thank you to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Tampa Bay Rays for all of your winnings, which has brought more people here to the Tampa Bay area as well to see the fact that we live in paradise. Yes, we do. We can clap for that.
Every day.
Every day. Happy Cinco de Mayo. It's Cinco de Mayo every day in the good old Tampa Bay. But in being able to slow down, for everything to slow down, and allow people chances to come travel to see some of these great events, it's also brought people here from these other areas to see that, wow, there's some really talented individuals here. But eye on that. So, you know, shouts out to all of the ones that are out there helping to bring light and shed some light down this way. Because, you know, for a long time, we was getting everything last. You know, I mean, we're on the bottom, but we didn't want to be the bottom.
Exactly.
I mean, matter of fact, it'll skirt around us to Miami, and Miami will get it before us, and then it'll flip back, you know. But by the time it gets to us, it's like 3-4 months old.
Yeah.
You know, I remember having cousins from New York that would come down every summer and stay with us. And they'd have on, you know, certain kind of Nikes and things of that nature. And they'd say it's after a basketball play. I'm like, he ain't got no shoe. You know, that shoe don't come out for like a whole nother year. Like, man, that shoe came out last week. What you mean? It's all up north.
Wow.
And sure enough, yeah, by like 2 months later, the shoes. And the sad thing about it is all the commercials that are coming out are like as if the shoe just came out today, right? And it's been out for months up north, but they're advertising it to us like it just came out today, brand new to everybody. You better get them while supplies last.
That's with clothing,
Everything.
dances.
Everything. We get it all late.
Late.
So shout out to young BBQ. You know, keep doing your thing, girl. We're proud of you and all that good stuff. And you know, hopefully. We'll be able to get her on the show to talk about the shows that she likes to watch.
That would be great.
You know, so you know, I'll work some mojo, see what I can work out, see if we can get her on the show. But yes, y'all, we are going to start having some guests on the show here with us here pretty soon to also talk about shows that they are watching along with us as well, along with shows that they're, you know, personally watching that we don't know about, right. And to give us some insight on why these shows are so interesting to them. And, you know, and we also have a number that you guys can call in and talk to us and, you know, also share your insight if you watch these shows as well. It's always funny how when we come off the air, you know, everybody want to talk about their shows and it's so cool, but it's like, man, we could have been talking about this on the air,
That's
you know?
right.
So,
even though Snowfall and Power Force and all those Power, universe shows are gone. Doesn't mean that we still can't talk about
yeah,
them.
Because it's still relevant
I see things
topics
on social media. Everyone's still talking about Snowfall.
Oh yeah,
and dissecting it, just tearing it apart.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh yeah. So we can still talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's what we do. I mean, it happens in the barbershops, in the grocery lines, in the elevators. I mean, there's hardly any place I go now where I'm not talking about a show to somebody. I mean, especially now that they know this is what we do. You know, I mean, they automatically just start the conversation. Like, I watched Bel Air, and you know what? You're right. Carlton is a crackhead or whatever. Although he's not, he just needs some rehab. But it's fun to see people get engaged and us be able to have something in common to talk about. And I love being able to turn people on to new shows and things of that nature. And being a professional actor, and a producer, director, all these hats that I wear, for a long while, it was hard to like watch regular TV because you're always looking at it now from a technical aspect. So it really takes something, to like really engage you to where you're like into the story and you become a fan. Yep. Because once you're on the inside of it, all of the smokes and mirrors and the mystery is gone. You now know the magic trick, but what's up. And so you see it all and you're like, oh, they just use that kind of camera. Or, man, I know that filter, or it just becomes simple as that. But for you to know the magic and still be amazed by it, that's the kudos I give to these shows that we're talking about, because they have really done some masterful things in pulling you out of the technical and being able to see the story for itself. And that's what you want. You want people to be able to see the story and know it. Look, people are buzzing me right now.
I read also that season 6 of Snowfall, they said it's going to be dark. Like
I could really imagine.
Dark. So
I could imagine.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
I could imagine. I mean, you got so much that's waiting to happen. I mean, all the way to where he got his whole family to cross over to this side, Yeah, and now they leaving them in the car. He got them to cross over. They got a taste of it. They got a feel for it. They're all like now, rich.
They want to say, and I don't want to say they, Louis mostly wants to say that, he's controlling us, whatever. He wasn't trying to control them. He was trying to protect them.
Yeah. To keep it from getting out of hand.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, and somebody has to be mindful of that.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, that's the biggest downfall is people get too far ahead of themselves.
And he said it to her. He said, everyone has to answer to someone.
Right.
So, hello, I brought you guys in. Mm-hmm. You need to answer to me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to protect you.
Yeah. And
let me.
And, it is one of these, the whole thing with Louis and Franklin, now that we're going back to Snowfall, which is on the list of us to talk about today, so we're not off. But the thing with that is, we talked about it before, this whole once you get a taste of power,
that's what it
things
is.
of that nature. But the thing that I found to be like real interesting is how in a lot of things, how it's true. He found what he really wanted to do. He wanted to sell a product. He just didn't have the means, the wherewithal, the know-how, how do I get to this place of being able to do that? But as soon as he got all those ducks in a row that gave him the opportunity to get what he really wanted, he went and did it. Even when they was trying to like store drugs there, he was still like, man, I don't want that in my shop. But it was only because they were in a place of, we ain't got no other choice,
right, that
it ended up having to be there. But he really didn't want it there. He was like, look, man, I found, what's that song? I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
Yes.
Something to that effect.
Okay.
What was that? Fats Domino? Somebody. It was an old school person way back in the day before all of us that are here currently in the station right now. I mean, all of us are under the ripe old age of being somebody's younger brother. But at any rate, Jerome found his thing, and in finding his thing, he wanted to be out. Franklin eventually got to that place as well, to where he's like, hey, we got legit businesses. Yeah. I'm really loving this real estate thing. Mm-hmm. I got a plane now. I can fly wherever. He's acquired all of those things, and flipping back over to power. That was the same thing with Ghost. Right?
Franklin is such an intelligent.
It's Cinco de Mayo here, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know. It is Cinco de Mayo. That was not a play. Yes, that is happening right now. Yes, we can't wait.
That's good. Franklin is such an intelligent young man. He's so smart.
Yes.
You know, so he could be doing other things other than selling drugs. And that's what he wants to do now. He's going from young Franklin to
mature
Franklin.
Yeah, mature Franklin.
Yeah.
All that. And being a father, right? He's got a baby on the way. All that good stuff. So now, his mind frame is changing from, I don't want to do this anymore. Exactly. And so, no, you ain't got to be sorry, y'all. Happy Cinco de Mayo. We about to join the party in a minute. Save some for me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Don't make me laugh.
I'm so kidding. But y'all, yes. But yeah, so anyway, I think we are at the end of today's show. We got about like maybe 3 minutes left. But definitely want to give another shout out again to 22 South. I am so hoping that when I leave here, y'all are selling tacos tonight. If not, please come next Tuesday to 22 South. They have the best Taco Tuesday going on here in the city. Wow. Please call my bluff. I dare you to call my bluff and tell me that these tacos ain't the best tacos you have had, period. Okay? I'm talking about with the salsa, without the salsa, with the sour cream, without the sour cream.
Stop.
I'm just telling you right now.
Stop.
Somebody call 22 South and see if they making tacos tonight, because I'm telling you, I'm ready.
Yes.
It's Cinco de Mayo. They got to have tacos tonight. They got to. If not, we're going to have a conversation. But Taco Tuesday, 22 South. Y'all hear them woos in the background? That's just how it was this past Tuesday on Taco Tuesday. The tacos was just that good. And it was $2.
What?
$2 tacos. $2 tacos. Everybody here in the studio is like, what? For real? For real? Yes, for real. $2 tacos.
I'll be there next Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. 3 for $6. That's $2 a taco. I don't care. It's $2 for tacos.
Wow.
Where they do that at? On this side
22 South
of Central Avenue. 22 South is where they do it at. Mm-hmm. The home of Taco Tuesday. They got everything else that you want on the menu, but next Tuesday I would definitely be there for the tacos. No questions asked. Don't even ask me, can I get you anything else? Nope, more tacos. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been our show. We thank you so much. Again, the shows we are watching right now are The Flight Attendant. We are watching Winning Time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty. Yes. Shows on the radar to watch is We Own the City.
Yes.
And I'm going to throw this one out there that we didn't get a chance to talk about yet. And that is Anatomy of Scandal.
All right.
That show right there is on Netflix. Y'all can start watching that right now. It's a British show, but it's just like all these other shows we're talking about. It drops you right in the water, right in the 12 feet, like right off the bat, and you got to figure on how they're going to swim back to the shore. Or what do you call it? Back to the wall. There we go. How you swim back to the wall. The show is just that good. So y'all keep rocking with us, and we will see you guys next Thursday. I am Cranston Cumberbatch.
I'm Kawana Norman.
And this is The Way We See It.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio. Home of your throwback jams.
This is the way we see it. This is the way we see it. This is
You're listening to Power Plug Radio. Yeah.